What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and I'm back. How's everybody doing tonight, family? Shout out to everybody. How that go? How's everybody doing? Shout out to the family who's been supporting me thus far. Continuous support, is very much appreciated. You know, I just try to bring real life content to the people, real life conversations, so we could definitely do some healing, fam. If we all are trying to achieve the same goal, which is liberation for our people, then we got to start with us as individuals. So I feel like these conversations, and we could take these things back to our families and build on them. So that's why. So, like I said, shout out to everybody who supports me. It's very, very much appreciated. You know, tonight I'm back with part two, y'all. Sorry for the little delay. A little busy. But I'm back with part two of the Black Man's Image in 2017. Hopefully, and they can render their voice. And I feel like the brothers would love to hear how the ladies feel and what the ladies think of the Black Man's Image in 2017, pros and the cons. Like, we love to hear that. So tonight, y'all, hopefully they come through and we get it in. Everybody in the chat so far, we here. The Black Man's Image in 2017, y'all. Like I said on the last show, just to touch on some things, a lot of black men in 2017 are simping, you know, and it's not helping us. Men and black men need to start standing up and standing up together. See, the problem is that I'm gonna touch on tonight is the lack of brotherhood between black men. That caters to the destruction of our image. Because I feel like if black men and in totality, uh, that we all could stand under, no matter what we represent, but just a solid brotherhood as all of us just being black men. I feel like go far, you know, and that's why I say the same thing for sisters is the sisters should promote sisterhood. I feel like the lack of brotherhood makes the black men really, really look bad because they judge isolated incidents and they judge us as a whole based off of those things. Like if we had a brotherhood, I feel like when certain things happen and the media try to paint us a certain way, we can have a group that could step up and they could speak, and let the world know and just to let the people know you know, and globally that whatever narrative that out here doesn't represent all black men, and that the majority of black men are trying to get it together, because that's what I see. You know, no matter if there's a lot of street activity, ever, you know, people trying to get it together, man. Black men trying to get it together. They trying to get up out the ghetto. They trying to do the right things, man. I don't think that black men are really just sitting around portrayed. You know, black fatherhood is in abundance, whether people like to believe it or not. There's a lot of black men out here that take care of their children. I feel like we need a brotherhood that could step up and speak, so we're not continuously represented in a negative way. Because as long as we continue to be represented in a negative light, is people will continue to believe that black men aren't shit. And we all know that's far from the truth, man. That's far from the truth. So the lack of brotherhood is to the poor image of the black man in 2017. That caters to it. I really, really believe that it do, y'all. You know? And shout out to the Nation of Islam, because they represent brotherhood. They have a sense of brotherhood, but that's based on religion. We need a brotherhood that's not based on any of that, just about us being black men, you know, and skilled black men that are skilled in certain things. That way, the brotherhood is legit and it's a movement. What needs to be a step to regain the respect for us black men. This is what black men have to building other good black men around you together. I could control things in your environment, you know? And team, black man or no black man around another black man should be on no bullshit on certain things, and that's taking care of business and taking care of family. And family is business. But see, a lot of times, based on the media and things that we see every day in society, it's hard for black men to stay focused. So that's how a lot of us get caught up in all of that bullshit. We get caught up in that because we don't remain focused. But if we had that active brotherhood, we got men that'll come out and check on brothers. Let me highlight you. Pull a dude off the block for a minute. Go take him somewhere, sit him down, talk to him, you know, let him have something to eat, make sure he's still on track. Need that. These young black men need that. They need to hear words of encouragement, you know? Dudes tell me like, yo, good looking. I needed that, bro. Good looking, big bro. Just simple little things, man. We need to show that camaraderie again. Put all that other bullshit to the side. Because we're not judged on those things. We're judged as a collective, black man. We're judged as a collective. So no matter if you a blood, if you a crip, if you a GD, if you a vice lord, whatever you are, it don't matter because niggas are niggas to them. It don't matter no more. So our brotherhood need to have all of that. We need all that. We welcome in all that. You see? Because the enemy ain't looking at us in that light. They looking at us all as one group. And that's how we need to look at them. We deal with them accordingly, but we understand who they are because they understand who we are. And they know how they're going to deal with us. So we need to start to understand how we need to deal with each other. What, black man? Based on what they got coming down the pipeline for our asses, black women on their team with this feminist shit running around and them helping white supremacy destroy black men. Out. We gonna be the ones asked out, y'all. I'm letting y'all know that right now. Ones asked out. It's gonna be us. We the ones that's gonna be fucked up. Act brotherhood, y'all. And I ain't saying we gotta, all get together and be on some, happy, happy, joy shit either. But it has to be something, solid and built on constructive things and constructive ideas. It has to be built on progress. This is why I say we welcome everything. We welcome everybody because what everybody represents needs to be represented in our brotherhood. We need that. We need the brotherly love and we need the community revolution. We need all that. And we need everything. We don't need to leave nothing out. We welcome all religions because we can build off of everything. Somebody has something to bring. So black man, we in 2017, man, we really need to focus on building our network with other black men that are doing things and get together with them and just start building with them. Just go, go visit them in their city, chill with them, just start small. Rome wasn't built overnight, but we got to start from somewhere. Say like-minded people need to get together, but we need to start doing that, black man. Black men, we need to do it. It don't have nothing to do with women. It has something to do with us. To be focused on. You know? Because like I said, if we don't do this, we're gonna be asked out, y'all. I guarantee you we're gonna be asked out. If we don't start looking out for each other, black men, get up off your high horse, niggas. nigga. It's women out here for all of us, man. And if you married, you know what I'm saying, what you worried about? Look good for your woman. But niggas need to get up off that bullshit, man. Always looking down on each other, stunting on each other. We need to cut that shit out because it's not benefiting us in no way. It's not. We destroying ourselves in the process, man, along with all the other attacks. We got to understand that, black man. We have to understand that. All of that. We got to get it together, black man. For real. For real, man. Because if black men just focus on getting their attitudes right towards another brother, a lot of senseless violence will stop, man. You know? But we let a lot of shit get to our heads. This is why we need the older brothers to teach the younger brothers. So they don't develop these egos, man. And we start looking at each other like ops. You know, we gotta cut that whole mentality out about one another as black men. That shit gotta stop because it's counterproductive, man. And it's destructive, it's genocidal. We wiping each other the fuck out over nothing, over stupidity, dumb shit. Doing black men, we supposed to be gods, right? We supposed to be pharaohs, right? But guess what we doing, black men? We're leaving our children as bastards. That's what we doing, black men. We making our children and leaving them as bastards because of bullshit ego. Come on, man. You leave his kid, you leave his family bastards, and you go to jail and leave your family as bastards. We really gotta break this shit down and let these young boys know that shit is not cool. It's whack. As a collective, black man, as a collective, city by city, state by state, all the OGs, all that shit, man. That shit ain't cool no more, young homie. We ain't getting down like that no more. We not rocking like that no more. That has to be known. Because we leaving our families out to dry, black man. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. And we doing it to ourselves, man. Motherfucking selves. By letting bullshit get to our head. Stop thinking because you got money, you better than the next man, dude. Cut that shit out. That shit is whack. It's enough women for you all to get one. This woman. Cut that stupid shit out. You should understand if you dealing with another man, you dealing with another lion. I'm in another lion's pride, you might die. And every man needs to understand that. We need to understand that when we communicating with each other, black men. So this is why we should make vows not to cross certain lines with each other, kill each other, because we want to make it home to our families, right? Just like that father male lion want to make it back to that pride with that food. We want to do the same thing. Maybe if we could let's start looking at it from a nature aspect. King. No lion is gonna let you walk in his section and do anything. It's on sight. We understand that all black men has that posture or comes from that. We as other black men who have that same posture, we should know, yo, I'm not gonna come at this brother like that. It's not about being no sucker. This is why I'm saying we got to get that ego shit out of us. Because it's not about being no sucker. It's about respect. That's manhood. That ain't being no fucking sucker. That's not being no sucker, man. And we got to stop looking at it like that because the youth, they taking it as that. They think respect is dominance. They think respect is, nigga, if you say something to me, I kill your ass and now you can't talk no more. That's respect. That's what these young boys and these young girls is deeming as respect. To kill now. But that's because they grew up and saw us quick to fire off. I mean, it's just evident. And the generation before us, we saw them doing it. So it comes a time where this shit gonna have to stop. It's gonna have to stop, man. It's going to. Man, I'm talking to us, man. I'm talking to us tonight, man. Just like the other night, I'm talking to us. This ain't got nothing to do with black women. Like I said, hopefully tonight, black women to be able to, they'll want to come on a panel and talk about the black man's image and how they feel in 2017. And the cons and things like that. But I'm talking to us, man. We need to cut this dumb shit out. And I see a lot of black men trying, man. A lot of us is doing these web series. They shooting movies. We showing some camaraderie, man. Trying to clean up the neighborhood. Do, man. We can't keep leaving our families out here. If you got 25 to life and you went to jail when your son was 7, 8 years old, what you think he gonna grow up and want to be? What you think he gonna grow up and want to be? Where do you think he may grow up? He might want to grow up where his father at. And his father might be in prison. See, we got to think about that, black man. We have to think about that. No matter what we doing. See, we not gonna sit there and point out what we doing. It don't matter what we doing. It's about how we think. It's about how we think. Think will move us and propel us to be doing something else. So black man, we gotta start loving each other, man. Real shit. Real shit. We can't be so quick to, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm gonna kill him. We can't be so quick to do that. But guess what? I know why we so quick to do that, because black men, most of us that are alpha males, that's what happens. Like I said, lions think twice. I'm gonna kill you. That's how male lions think. I'm gonna rip your head off. This is how alpha males operate. Same way. If it's a group of us and we know how all of us get down, we know what lines not to cross with each other. We know automatically. And we should be able to move accordingly. It shouldn't be no issues. That's what I'm saying. In a group of alpha males, there is no jealousy. Where? Who jealous of who? Everybody the man of their own shit. So who is there to be jealous of? Like, everybody got what they got on their own. So who, you know? And black men, we need to start moving like this. Packs of alphas. You know? We gotta start teaching this to the youth, man. We do. Or we gonna be fucked up, black men. Just look in the inner, let's look in the big inner cities like Chicago, New York. Young black men, man. They homeless. Sleeping in the streets, man. Shit is real. We need to restore our brotherhood, man. No matter what the hell we represent, black man. Cut the bullshit out. I ain't fucking with that trick, nigga. I ain't fucking with that blood, nigga. Cut that stupid shit out, man. Cut it out. That shit is whack. We're destroying our families with that, black man. Get out. That shit is over with. And none of this shit was ever intended for us to be killing each other. None of it ever was. Let's cut it out, man. And let's restore the brotherhood for real. So we could get our communities back. Cut this bullshit out, man. Telling black men we're all in different fields could do a whole bunch of shit, man. Could do a whole bunch of shit. But not if we sitting around and with each other, trying to outdo each other. Who could get the baddest girl number in the night? All that corny shit, man. That shit is corny. Who got the best car? Best outfit on for the night? I mean, come on. Who threw the most money in the strip club? Like, just nut shit. That shit is corny. That shit is really corny. If we gonna friendly compete, who bought the most land? Who bought the most houses? You know, let's compete with shit like that as black men. Other shit is keeping us divided and is making us divisive against one another. That's what's leading to these senseless murders. Dude flexing on you, you don't like it. Bunch dude come back and kill you. That's how senseless shit is going. That's what it is. That's what's going on. This shit have to stop. Shit, and it's not equaling up to nothing no more. And if the black man don't see that, man, deaf and blind, bro. Can't sleep, man. Real shit. Productive, man. Everybody, you know, like I said, I apologize to the sisters who couldn't speak, you know, on part one. So tonight, y'all Y'all got y'all shot, ladies, to come on here and render y'all voice about the black man. Peace to everybody in the chat. I'm gonna drop the link. You know the brothers is always welcome to come on, but I definitely would love the sisters to come on and render their voice about the black man's image in 2017. I want full honesty, you know, no holding back. I want no sugar-coated shit, you know. I want full honesty, you know.
Man, I'm sorry, man. Okay,
Yeah, so peace to Living Soul Journey. O's JT, what's up, bro? Peace to the brother Megalodon. Peace, King. Peace, King. What's up, bro? Hold your head, bro. Peace to sister Maxine Royal. Peace to my brother Black Worlds. What's goody, bro? The Kasha, what's up? JB Black. So I put the link out there. Y'all can hit the link whenever y'all ready. About this topic, man. Peace. Peace. Oh, they dropped out. You know, black man, let's do this, man. Let's try our best to just do this. Stop thinking you on an island all alone. I know a lot of times brothers feel like that. So we stay in our own world a lot of times. For males, we stay in our own world because, you know, society, it be bullshit, man. And, you know, we like to stay secluded sometimes because we be angry about a lot of shit that go on. There's a lot of shit be against us, man. So try to just start linking up men as you can, black men around you, you know, and just start sitting around and building on shit. Stop sitting around looking at Facebook twerk videos, you know, start just trying to have constructive conversations. Sitting and down and doing as black men. We need to stop sitting around bullshitting all the time. It's cool to party and bullshit. But as black men and in the time that we in, we don't have time only for that no more, man. We need to give less and less time to partying and bullshit and being more constructive when we talking to one another, having a meeting of the minds and really, you know, building on some ideals, you know. So the link is out there in the chat. Peace, Black Unknown. What's good, bro? You there, bro?
Now I mute myself by mistake. Yeah. Yeah, what we need to do that we gotta build, you know? It's a crisis we in. And we have to understand we need each other more than ever to encourage. But we know just challenge ourselves constructively. And it's gotta be consistent. You know, our families is at stake here. And that's all I'm gonna say for now. Great conversation, my brother, as you always keep on doing your thing.
No doubt, man. But yeah, this is how I feel, you know. This is just one thing I wanted to go in for part two about the night, brothers, about, you know, bringing about a solution to our image and changing our image. And one thing we could do to change our image is by restoring our brotherhood, you know, and we could do a whole nother show about that if y'all want to too. Restoring brotherhood in the black community, you know, because I really think, you know, that's much needed, man. We need brotherhood restored. We really, really do. Because our image and the narrative that's painted of us is gonna keep getting worse. We gotta understand that as black men. We gotta understand that it's gonna keep getting worse. It's not gonna keep getting better. So we just can't sit around and just let the shit just fester. Let the shit just happen. We cannot do that. We can't. If we say we care. Now, if you really don't care, then I feel you do. But if you care, you have to start linking up with brothers and networking with certain brothers and building on certain things, man. That's how grassroots movements start. What they doing, hopefully the sisters doing what they. We all need to get it together. It's not woman more than man or man more than woman. We all need to get it together. We all do. So black man, let's definitely let's work on our brotherhood, man. Let's work on it, man. For real. So JT, how do you important brotherhood, you know, because you are older brother, so your time I brothers was a you know brothers was a little bit more organized. So how did brotherhood affect it, you know, when you were young?
Mhm.
Did brotherhood affect the community around you when you was young? Like, how did you and the kids that you dealt with, did y'all get along and stuff like that in the neighborhood?
Well, for me personally, right? I see the Black Panthers was on the block. There's some that live on the block. They had protected the block. They had encouraged us. They even taught us about Africa, about the slavery, about everything that's going on. And that's what I talk like that right now because I learned from them. And also, I have the spiritual aspect. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. So I had two components that go by. But sticking to political, it was amazing to me when I was 5, I was really introduced to the Black Panthers. You know, really by seeing them, by marching, and even with sisters was actually carrying guns, was protecting our community. It wasn't all about no feminists back then. It wasn't all about, don't get me wrong, it was problems, trust me. It was feminism. And things was going on right now. It did happen back then. Please, I'm not getting it twisted. It was. But it was the commodity of our people. We work as one. And it was drug dealers right there. They let it be known. You're not selling drugs on that block, on that neighborhood, or you're going to get dealt with. Any child that do mischievous stuff like cut school and all like that, the Black parents tell the parents, or they take you back in school. If you do that again, you end up being dealt with, and you ain't gonna tell your parents. So it was togetherness back then, and I learned a lot from the Black Panther Party and other people. Well, that's why I learned about white supremacy. If you hear what I was talking about white supremacy, I learned majority about Black Panthers. I learned a lot of things about other black nationalist groups that we used to have in Brooklyn, and it was workshops. But I ain't gonna lie, as a little boy, I was 8, 9, I used to sneak in workshops that they have on the corner. Oh, get out, young blood. But I soak in a lot. It was real brotherhood back then. Now, did they have their problems? Yes. Was it egotistic was going on back then? Yes, it was. So I was blessed to be around that. I was blessed to know what's up about the streets too. And it was actually even brothers like selling like, nah, you don't want to be right. You go to school, you leave that to us. And I remember even like when some brothers were selling drugs, they make sure the money come back to the community too. They used to have block parties, or anybody had businesses around the neighborhood, they paid for that. Even there are some that went legit and stopped having stores in our neighborhood. So the brotherhood back then was really was okay with me. I think it really started breaking up with the government, the infiltration of the Black Panther Party temporarily back in the late 70s. Yeah, they reemerged back in the early 80s, but it was not the same. It was not the same to me. I'm not saying that they did, they tried because they really, really did, but a lot of them had got locked up. A lot of them some of them got on drugs, and there's still some, and to this day, got still in jail, and they left a deeper hole. That's when the Reagan era started coming in, and that's when the drugs started coming and nigga rock. I'm not going to get into that, but I know for me personally, it left a certain gap and hole in my political beliefs, and it was constant fights with them when I was in junior high school, to tell them, yo, it's a trap, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Kind of find out, oh, you was right. So it was, and then at the same time, there's no more aunts and uncles who see that you wrong, put you in check. I know my family did, but I'm talking about in the neighborhood, because that's when crack started it hit real hard in our community, and that's where you see certain people who went for themselves, and so for me, we have examples that what happened back there, and we can get it back again. I'm not saying it got to be the same, but we have examples back there to understand that we can get it back again. And even I want to say this, even there was some sisters that support the black man too back then too. I know there was one time I seen this. It was a brother with a sister, and she hit him with her bag. And I remember one of the ladies of the Black Panther, brother, step back. This ain't your fight. I understand. We gonna deal with her. You go upstairs. Get yourself together. Watch out, young people. Don't worry about it, brother. We seen it. Fall back. And she was dealt with. Now I ain't gonna go in what happened, but I'll put it to you this way: she was dealt with. And then there was another time It was a black man smack his wife. Same thing. We got this system. He even got dealt with. So it was fair. But I don't know what happened. I ain't gonna say I don't know what happened, but I know white supremacy policies got in the way, and we see they start putting the picture. That's when I'm talking like that because that's when if I'm skipping back and forth, understand what I'm saying. That I'm in this move. So, and that's when going to the 80s, we were the 70s, really going to 80s. That's when the feminists really going. That's when you start having more white women like running for office. That's when you start seeing they really pushing this narrative of white supremacy, and you see a lot of them had intact, had making major decisions in our community, and even there was some brothers and some simps was down with it. And that's where like the brotherhood start become non-existent to right now. Now, how to get it back? Or I could say block by block, piece by piece, whatever. But it shouldn't be about what status that you in. At the end of the day, we brothers. We all the same. Maybe the money wise, maybe political wise, or maybe financial wise, but we all together, and we got to stick together as alpha males. We got to claim our community back and get these simps out of here. And there's anybody that go against what we fighting for, they got to get dealt with. If you're scared, this is the way I feel. If you're scared to play, get the hell out. Thank you. Back at you, brother.
Black Worlds, welcome to the panel, bro.
What's cracking, bro?
Coolin'. How you, guys?
I'm doing good. Just listening in right now, checking it out for the first time. I'm new to this right here, so just learning right now.
No doubt. So, what you think of the topic, bro? Like, as the black man's image in 2017, man. Like, what do you think is the problem with us?
Well, one, I think just people just scared to change. You know what I'm saying? Some people just want to stay. They just want to remain the same, play around, bullshit around. You know what I'm saying? People just don't want to change. So for people to change, something drastic has to happen. I hate to be negative, but something bad has to really happen for us to really change. You see what I'm saying? Right now, niggas just want to drink, smoke, party, do this and do that. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes you just gotta put that to the side. Sometimes it gets serious, but it's just I don't know, man. It's just I can't really speak on that too much. Like I said, it's just gonna take a while for people to change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real. That's real. So, like, what do you think is something that might have to happen for us to really wake up? Because I was thinking one time, like, what if the dollar became obsolete? Like, what if all the money that we like to ball out and flex on each other with, what if none of that shit meant nothing no more? I wonder how we will respond to each other then.
That's a hell of a good question, man. That's a hell of a good question. I think the answer to that is, I guess, whenever that happens. I know at one point it's supposed to happen. The dollar was supposed to drop or something like that. At one point, I know they was talking about that. I don't know how true that is, but if it happened, I mean, I guess we'll have to see. It might change. It might change people, then it might not. You know what I'm saying? But like you
Right.
said though, like you said earlier, I think for us to change, we just got to come together and stop beefing with each other. You see what I'm saying? Over dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if niggas can put their egos to the side, man, and stop walking around with their chest out all the time and try to look to see who the biggest and the baddest, you know what I'm saying? And we can just come together, then they can, maybe things will be a little better.
Definitely.
Yeah. But only time will tell, you know what I'm saying? Only
Mm-hmm.
time will tell. And another thing, we just got to talk to the younger generation because that's the next from like I'm 31 years old, so the ones that's coming up, we got to talk to them. But that's seem that that's seem that it seemed like that's kind of hard because they don't want to listen. Just like when I was young, I ain't want to listen. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we
Facts.
got to figure out a way to talk to them and get them to listen to us by us being older. You see what I'm saying? So that's where
That's
we need to
real.
start at first. Yeah.
Cause I'm the same age as you.
Oh,
And
okay, for sure.
my young little homies and stuff, they look at me like I'm an old head. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
And
right.
I be like, damn, I'm only 31. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
How I relate to them is, you know, what we gotta do as older dudes, like not cater to them, but we gotta kind of play into what they like.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
From there, from there, once we get in with them and they trust us, because I think that's a problem with the youth. We haven't regained their trust.
yeah. Right, right, right,
It will allow us in to where we can start to be able to deal with them and kick certain information to them. Try to kick knowledge to them from the outside looking in. We got to be on the inside of the campaign, you know what I'm saying? And be
right,
able to chop it up with them like that, because then they'll listen. Pointing
right. I agree.
fingers and talking shit to them from the outside, like yo, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing this. Y'all doing this. Y'all doing that. Y'all hot. That's gonna make them, rebel against what we saying.
Right,
But if we was in the inner circle, chop it up with them on the regular, they will automatically know not to do no hot shit.
I agree with you.
But
I agree.
because they already groomed to a point where they already know what it is. Like, down like that no more.
Right. Like yeah. We gotta lead by example. Gotta lead by example.
That too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of brothers our age, you know what I'm saying? Dudes our age, a lot of dudes our age is in the can. So, it's a blessing
Yeah.
for me and for brothers like our age to even be talking to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
31 and you in the can. You know what I'm saying? Chicago or some, you in the can.
Mm-hmm.
31? You out here in the
Mm-hmm.
streets with your kids and lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. You rarely see that. You rarely see that.
So yeah, 31. Nah, dudes is
Yeah.
in the can. So
Yeah.
like dudes, that's why I was saying dudes like us, we really gotta our best to really network, man, because we gotta start being able to be around and being able for these young dudes to see us.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I come to your city in your neighborhood and you doing what you doing and rocking how you rocking, I could come and rock with you and talk to your little young homie.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Because I'm coming on your behalf. And then you could do
Right.
the
Most
same thing
definitely.
in my neighborhood. And I think
Most definitely.
that right there start making the younger dudes feel like, yo, we have a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We need to start doing shit and making shit count. Stop just out here doing things for sneakers and, you know, money to go to the strip club and weed money and, you know what I'm saying? Red bottom money and rental money and all that dumb shit. But I think it starts with us really going to them and touching them. We can't just keep sitting back and not going and touching the young dudes, especially the dudes our age. And if we got influence, we need to use that influence for something like that.
Hey, but you know what though? Dudes our age, we gotta talk to them too, though. You see what I'm saying? Because they seem like they don't want to grow up neither. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta talk to them, and it's like, it's like, man, I mean, sometimes it's hard to sit and talk to people, man, because people just so close-minded. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta beat them upside the head for them to listen.
Yep. And that's the problem. And that's what I was touching on earlier, bro, how, with alpha males, that's why we stay to ourselves a lot. But staying to ourselves with our family and we just doing us. Because of that bullshit, we can't take that. You know what? Before something go to the left, let me just step away all the way and just stay out the situation.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because I want to do anything counterproductive and then we look like hypocrites. But sometimes situations happen and
right.
So I feel what you're saying when you talking to dudes our age. Them dudes is more minded than the young dudes.
That's facts right there, bro. Facts.
Like they can't get it. Like the young dudes, if they listen to it, they'll get it. We want to hear that shit. The older dudes act like they just can't get it. Frustrates us. You know what I'm saying?
That's fact.
That's why I let them, you know what I'm saying? Man, for real. Like if you ain't on that type of time, I don't even rock with you now.
Right.
And all. If you ain't on my type of time, on progress, if that's not what you on, I don't mean no disrespect, no harm or none of that. I can't stand next to that no more. Because what I'm trying to accomplish and what I'm trying to show my sons. So I have a torch that they could carry when I'm sitting on a bench in my jersey in the rafters. But
yes, sir.
So dudes that's not on that mindset, that's on that frequency, you still want to buy sneakers and video games, and that's what you do with your check and all that. I don't rock with that.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you,
all you do in your spare time is play 2K. That's all you do in your spare time. I don't rock with that. I ain't got nothing against you. To each his own, but that's not where my mind at. Do shit like that.
Right. That's facts right there, bro. I agree with you.
And that's what the young dudes do. Crack. What the young dudes doing? Smoking loud, sipping lean, playing 2K.
Yeah, pretty much.
They doing the same shit the 31-year-olds is doing. Like you just said, bro. You can't get through to them. So now the young dudes is like, do what we doing. Like, what are you talking about?
That's facts, dude. That's facts.
Like
they
that
look
shit
at you
don't
like
even
you
register with them. Yeah, like you stupid. Like nigga, where you been? This is what goes on.
They like, damn, bro, you don't do this? Or you don't know how to do that? You don't know how to roll? You don't know how to, they look at you like you're an alien, man. Like you don't know nothing. Like
facts.
Been there, done
That's
that.
Facts.
Been there, done that, man.
Exactly. Exactly. And then
move on.
Right. Exactly. Exactly, bro. We got to stop making that dumb shit cool, man. That dumb shit is not cool no more.
Dude, 1,000%.
Like the way I do with my young homies, they know when I come around, we gonna do what we gonna do. At a certain point, I'm gonna get on my shit. They know that. It's gonna come a time in the conversation where we gonna start talking about some other shit. They know that. And they know if they don't want to hear that, yo, just break out. They already know that. And it ain't no hard feelings. It's none of that. That's just me. And they respect me for me. And I feel like all the brothers that have that type of influence around them, even if it's just two dudes, one dude, and we start linking up, going to each other's cities, start breaking bread with each other, man, and building this brotherhood.
That's a start.
The back police killed 2 black men.
In
Dallas, then they just killed another kid. Stop it. It started with Trayvon and went crazy.
Yeah, facts.
Come on, bro. Like, and that was even that. And look how many done died.
In between that gap. In between them, you know, that gap. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. And black men don't see that as a problem. I mean, if you don't, then hey, but how can't you see that as a problem? See that as a problem.
Man, they so busy trying to make mixtapes, man, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what it is, man. Niggas trying to make mixtapes, man. You just like, you know, that's it. Niggas sit, smoke, make mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? They just blind. You know, they blind. They don't want to see. Some people don't want to see, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Like I said, some people have to get smacked up beside the head, man, a couple times for them to actually wake up and see what's going on. I'm gonna tell you something my man told me, my Muslim partner, right? I went to go see him today. So he said, Nick, we gotta wake up because they shooting us, they locking us up. And the only thing that's gonna be left is Uncle Tom's and fags. That's what he said to me. So what are we gonna do if we got Uncle Tom's and fags? Dude, we can't win like that. You see what I'm saying? That ain't gonna work.
Right.
So we got to build our own roads. He said we got to build our own roads and set up our own roadblocks. You see what I'm saying? So, like you said, like you just said, we gotta go to each other's city, connect, break bread with each other. You see what I'm saying? And greet each other, man. You see what I'm saying? And we all got to be on the same team. Can't have no weak links. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro.
We can't have people infiltrating. You see what I'm saying? We got something going on. We can't have nobody infiltrating. None of, you know, we gotta have roadblocks. You see what I'm saying? Because it's so easy to infiltrate black people. It's so easy, man. You know what I'm saying? You go front, back, side to side, left and right. You see what I'm saying? We leaving too many openings.
That's a
man.
fact. That's why I think, you know, right, we gotta close all cracks. Right, we gotta seal them shits up.
Seal them up.
That's why I was, you know, I was saying that, you know, we don't have a vetting process no more. So even the brothers that decide to link with each other, we need to fact check each other resume.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to meet up with a rat.
That's true.
I need to meet up with an informant.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That and as brothers, we can't take it personal. Yeah. It's about setting up them roadblocks. So if the brothers who start the demonstration, if we all know each other's resume, anybody who we bring in, we already check their resume.
For sure.
So if I bring the brother in, you ain't bringing no no infiltrators in.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know my resume. And you know, like, oh, I could depend on bro not to bring no nut in here.
Yeah.
Fact check him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And it needs to be that type of and people gotta stop looking at that as some gangster. That ain't no gangster shit. That's like you said, that's setting up roadblocks. That's us protecting each other. We gotta protect each other from each other too.
Fact.
No, if a motherfucker wanna go rogue, we gotta see with black men, we gotta be totally like real. This could happen. This dude could flip on us. You know, we gotta talk like that. We can't take shit personal about that ego shit. Because a lot of times that fuck with our communication as brothers. Because we be so quick when a brother say some shit, we be so quick to be snappy, like, oh, what you said? Fully take in what the brother saying to you.
Right.
You know, the brother giving you some game. He not trying to chastise you or belittle you. That simpleton shit. That should be good. For real, bro.
And bro, let me say one thing. And we need like Dr. Neely Fuller said, if you're familiar with that guy, he said we need a code. You know, we all need to be on code, man. You know.
Facts.
We need a code, man. So that's, you know, that's key right there. All got to be on the same page. Everybody, you can't have everybody off page. Like right now, we just off page. None of us is on the same page as far as black people. We all need to get on the same page, man.
Yep.
We got to. It's 2017, man. It's 2017. We've been here too long. As far as our ancestors, I mean, we've been here too long, man. We jammed up, man. we jammed up.
You ain't lying, bro.
For real, dude. And you know what I'm saying? It's sad, man. And I try to talk to people about that. They like, yeah, whatever. See, people like that, you know, you can't have them on your team because they ain't willing. They ain't trying to listen. You know.
And see, those are the people that be trying to run to the door when the door closing on their ass.
It's too late then.
Right.
Too late because I already tried to open the door for you. You see what I'm saying? You ain't want to walk through the door. So when things get to popping off, I'm getting ready to close the door. You know, I'm gonna protect the people that's inside my house. I'm gonna protect the people.
And I'm no remorse too.
Yeah, yes, sir. So it's 2017, man. We ain't, like you said, man. We ain't got time for these games, man. Got to step up.
That's true.
Got to step up.
Yeah, it's not.
PT?
It's not like the brother says. Nah, never. Like I be 51 next month, and my problem is I reach out. You know, I pull. You know what I do. You know, ever since I came to Virginia, I go to these young people. I say, do you have identification? Do you know where your parents at? Why you walking the streets? Like, man, fuck you, man. You ain't my mom and daddy. I'm old enough to be your daddy, and I can't. But I feel like there's some other brothers that's a little younger than me. I feel like that I'm not gonna bring that. I'm talking about brothers my age. They look at them and they don't say nothing. There's a few times that I actually stop situations that actually brothers and say, yo, will you know, can you give me this beer for me? How old are you? I'm such nah, no, that's not my place. Now if you want me to take you to get you some food, I could do that. That is not your place. And there's that time that I see brothers in my age groups and say, I said, why you giving him I said, why are you buying that for him? What kind of fucking example you setting? Come on, man. Give him a break. I'm not giving no young kids no break. Buying them liquor, buying them beer. They 15, 16-year-old. What the hell is wrong with you? Old enough to be their grandfather? So when they see me, so they know they're not to ask, no. You hungry? Let's go get some. No, I'm not getting. No, I'm not getting it for you. No, I'm not. So brothers our age, we need to step the fuck up and stop being fucking simps. And start catering to these young people thinking like we their best friends. And to let them know, listen, what you doing, it's not good, young boy. It's not good you stay in these streets, man. I don't want to go to school. All right, they ain't teaching them, but learn whatever you can. Learn the system and beat them with it to serve our community. Why do you think brothers just don't do nothing? Why do you think brothers like younger brothers like they see this one happen? If he ain't doing nothing, why should I? It shouldn't be that way, but hey, I can't fault them for that. But they get mad at me. You ain't looking out for these. I'm not looking out for nobody who wants to buy liquor. Buy something that they're not ready for? What example that you setting? So I didn't mean to get a minute like that, but it just pissed me off because like you and the brother said, we gotta stick together. We it cannot be no generation gap no fucking more. I'm tired of seeing it. We need to stick together as brothers and to unite and take our kids back. I don't care if you have kids or you don't have kids. You have an obligation to save them. If you have that attitude, don't give a fuck, or you a simp, get the fuck out. Let the alpha male step the hell up. Get out the way. Don't complain. Be part of the solution. I'm good. Thank you.
I got something to say too.
What's up, Jalen?
I had this dude trying to take care of another man's kids. Now I saw him on Steve Wilkos show. I'm just shocked. I'm like, dang. I'm like, why this dude taking care of another man's kids? No, that kids in NC Hills. Steve Wilkos show too.
Nah, I mean, and in some cases, little bro, you know, for taking care of another man's child, it depends on the relationship you have with that woman, you know. And there's a lot of black men out here that's taking care of other men's children. And it's not because he is simp, it's because he loved that woman and he understands the value of family. And he also understands that a young black man growing up nowadays without any type of representation ever in their life. This is why you're starting to see a lot of young black men, becoming homos at a younger age. They're very effeminate at a younger age now because of not being in their life. So when a black man steps up and wants to take care not all the time, there's simps. Now, in some cases, you got black men who just paying for other men's kids, want to be with the moms, and they doing that to make the moms feel good. The men who's coming on and being that father figure. You know what I'm saying, little bro? I'm gonna mute you, bro. So, you know, not all the time when black men decide to do that, it's not that, brothers are simping. Actually, we need more black men to step up and do that too. Brothers is, has fallen short. A lot of brothers got killed out in the streets,
Mhm.
jail, you know.
Mhm.
So the
Yeah.
brothers that's can and willing to step up, we need to do that. Even if you
Mhm.
just the type of brother, that call your homegirl son when he acting up,
Mhm.
because his father doing 25. So he
Mhm.
ain't gonna see his father till he probably grown. So you could just be that male voice that he always used to hearing. We need to start doing those things, man. That's why, me and the brother Black Worlds, we was building on how alpha male brothers, we need to start trying to connect. And I remember, you was talking about that. We talk about that all the time. City and build with each other and just small. Just go out there, each other our towns. Go out,
Mhm.
eat, chill. Just do
Mhm.
manly shit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We come back and each time we work on doing things. Like me and the brother talking about, if you got young homies that, or that rock with you in a certain way, you have the brother come to your neighborhood and talk to the little homies. Neighborhood, talk to his little homies. And
Mhm.
we do that each other. You know what I'm saying? And if we
Mhm.
serious about doing this, brothers, we could even create a pot, put in money once a month, touch the money, and we use that whole pot of money for each of us to travel whenever we want to go to each other's state. Families, our money be tied up and stuff like that. But this is something brothers could do, you know? And I know as to our significant others, they'll be with it. This is a good thing, and we ain't running around trying to, we ain't doing none of that. This is constructive things. We ain't going out to meet up on each other on no bullshit, you know? What's up, brother Rob? Welcome to the panel again, King. What's up, bro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can hear me, brother?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Can hear you, bro.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure I wasn't buffering or nothing. You know what I mean? But man, peace to the brothers on the panel. I know I'm late and I might be repeating what's already said, but Jalen had brung up a point that I responded to in the chat, and I just wanted to render another opinion on the matter. You know what I'm saying? If that's okay.
You good, bro. You already know.
All right. So, he had said that, he was watching this show. I think it was Steve Wilkes or whatever. Uh, the brother was taking care of kids that wasn't his. Shout out to all coaches out there too. You know what I'm saying? I coach. You feel me? And so, uh, 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 if we are going to really think of ourselves as a nation, it's gonna take some leadership, and that leadership gotta start at home. And so if a brother is out here and he enjoying the cookies, fam, you know what I'm saying? He laying up and this sister got kids. If you're not the example of what a man is supposed to be, you are detrimental to the community. Oh, them ain't my kids. I ain't no simp. You, hey, you have a responsibility because you a man, and you should be a man in any situation that you decide to be in. We got to stop playing. Our sisters are some of our kids, and this is in truth, and I mean, you know, this is some ugly truth. Some of our children have been born out of happenstance, and that's why some men are not in their lives. And brother, professionally, that's what I do. I deal with the hurt that them young men got in their heart. And that's why they going around in these streets, brother, killing one another because nobody valued their life. And so anybody that's in a situation where you can be some type of impact on a young man's mind to show him what a man's supposed to do. Get up in the morning, respect women. Don't argue with her. If she in the wrong, you tell her she in the wrong. You explain to her where you got your contention, and then you shut up. You let her do all that damn fussing. And when she ready to calm down, then that's when y'all talk. You see what I mean? Be a man. That's the way I handle things, you see? And so I got two boys. You know what I'm saying? I got two boys. And I model the behavior that I expect for them to conduct themselves in when they in public. You know what I'm saying? When you see my kids, you gonna know them my damn kids. Cause they not gonna be acting no damn fool. They pants ain't gonna be hanging off their ass. If they cussing, it ain't gonna be every damn word. You see what I mean? They come from a man. You see what I mean? They gonna stand they square. If they wrong, they gonna correct themselves. They got a moral compass. History I guide over here in my household. History I guide. We clearly know who our enemy is. We clearly know who we are. You can't love yourself if you don't know who you are. It's sad, brother. I'm in a black studies class, right? People don't know that these young men, these young ladies in Chicago don't know who Fred Hampton is. And the reason they don't know is because they mama and daddy don't know and didn't teach them at home. We got a responsibility. Once you know, you got to teach it. No matter how simple our people might be, and we all at different levels of understanding. This ain't no jab at nobody. This ain't no jab at nobody. But in truth, once you hear the information, it should humble you if you truly love yourself. And then you add on. That's what our ancestors did. That's why they was able to build cultures where they didn't have no standing armies. Don't that you see what I'm saying? That's why history is my guide at my home. You see, because when we start looking at how white people took over and all it wasn't no standing armies. We wasn't going around practicing killing people. You see what I mean? So when we put history in perspective, clearly we'll know who our oppressor is. We'll know who our enemy is. We'll know who we need to save money with. We'll know who we need to trust. We'll know what our responsibility is. It's called being a man. It's a thankless job. But you got to stand your square no matter what the circumstances are. You got to be a pillar. You got to be a pillar. That's what you got to be if you want to be a man. It's a thankless job. Ain't nobody gonna give you no damn award for being a man. That's just what you supposed to be. People make so many excuses to justify their inappropriate ass behavior. Going around exposing people and all of this type of shit. And we got people killing 15-year-olds in cold blood out on bail tonight down there in Texas. Man, it hurt my heart when we sit around here talking about all this petty shit. It's important to me that we understand our responsibility. When you a man, that's all you supposed to be. And no circumstance supposed to take you off your square. All right, that's it. I'm sorry, brother, if I went a little if I went a little long. But I on this subject I get a little fired up sometimes. You know.
Good, bro. Good, man.
Yeah. Hmm. Yep.
And I
Right on
totally
point.
agree, man. What's up, bro?
No, I'm just want to say one thing, and even like we gotta, and I know us brothers. I know sometimes we don't think like this. We gotta talk about the godfathers and the stepfathers, because sometimes I see I can say this because I know I'm one. I help raise these three different families, and sometimes that I urge any godfather, you keep on doing it, and the stepfathers, you keep on doing it, and the ones who don't even have kids, you watch out for the kids in the community. You keep on doing that because what you're doing is right, and I just want to shout out to them too. Keep it up. That's it.
You
You want
know.
to touch?
Yeah, my fault. And just to I had said a shout out to the coaches, but see, people don't understand. When you a coach and you work at a school, number one, you know, because the school, I mean, everything worked for the oppression of our people, They send our kids to school to be miseducated. You know what I mean? They don't understand the sacrifice that a black man gotta have when you working among these people. You know what I'm saying? You can clearly see how the system is mistreating and misguiding our kids, right? And so here I am trying to teach them about the struggle that our people had. I name it the beautiful struggle. You see what I mean? And I try to show them inspirational stories, right? And then at the same time, I got to get them to value their education and try to master a skill, whether it's baseball or basketball or football. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I got to get them to learn balance. You know what I'm saying? And so I use my art, you know what I'm saying, to try to teach balance. You see what I'm saying? And that sacrifice, that time. You know what I mean? When I got to drive all around the city, don't get home to goddamn 9 o'clock, dropping kids off because I don't want to hear about their ass in the paper tomorrow. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody giving me no gas money. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fun for brother Rob to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, I'm safe driving through the hood, dropping their ass off. Who give a fuck about me? You see what I mean? But I don't go around bitter about it. You know what I'm saying? That's just my quiet, you know what I'm saying, little sacrifice to the community. I don't get on these live streams to pin roses on myself. What I'm saying is join me in the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Join me in the struggle. Everybody want to cry and thank me at graduation. No, man. Thank me making sure that you're sure to get up and come to fucking school tomorrow to where I ain't gotta beg his ass. You know what I mean? Everybody gotta get in this. You know what I'm saying? Our collective apathy, brother. I feel like it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Our collective ambivalence, aloofness to what our true problem is. You know what I'm saying? It's that we scared to have some passion. We scared to tell white motherfuckers that they gotta be uncomfortable around me. You got to be. You got to be, because I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm gonna tell the truth on you. I'm gonna tell the truth on you. You got policies that, even though me and you got the same damn degree, it's policies that make you my boss. And I'm twice as smart as your ass. You see what I mean? I'm not bitter about it, brother. All I'm saying is I don't have no problem. I don't have no problem telling anybody where to get off. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I do. You know what I'm saying? I know what I do and I know where I stand. I'm proud to say that I'm unapologetically happy to be a black man. I identify as a black man, an African. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so happy to be an African because I'm familiar with the history. You see what I mean? People want to, oh, the comedics this and the comedics that. Hey, look at the comedics. Look at how hard they study their history and all of them stories about Ursa Ma'at September Ra, Ramesu Oriyaman. When you start learning about their story, brother, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter what these other scholars that ain't doing no work, just sitting around debating. It don't matter what they talking about. Them stories should still inspire you. You know what I'm saying? You start learning about Queen and Zinga and all of these different characters in our history that's so rich. You know what I'm saying? That's all it should do. It should empower you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying everybody got a responsibility. I shut up. I shut up.
No doubt, no doubt. You want to touch on that, Black?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. He right though. Far as learning, as far as learning our history and things like that, I think we really need to look into that because them white people, they know their history, and it seems like we the only people that don't know our own history. Everybody else know their history but us. So I think we really need to look into that. And I'm starting that. I'm already starting that right now. I'm starting reading books and stuff and learning about, So that's something I just got into. So I'm really, trying to better myself as far as like, knowledge and stuff like that.
Right. It's definitely important. History is definitely important. You know, I definitely require, my older son, he reads Black empowerment books all the time. You know, I make him read those, just to read them.
Right.
That's definitely a very important thing because not only do your child get to understand from, but they can have a sense of pride, because I think really mainly Black men, we have very low morale because we don't pride ourselves on certain things anymore. Anything. We just go along to get along. We don't want to do things that's gonna make us stand out in certain ways. Like one day, dude came by, checked me, and I found out on Facebook that, his new girl had 2 kids, but they not his kids. So when he pulled up on me, I'm like, yo, that's what's up, bro. I see you doing your thing. He like, nah, that's not my kids. I'm like, I could tell, bro, but if you holding her down, that's cool. Don't feel bad about it. And that actually made him feel good when I told him that. I thought it was something bad about him, picking up that responsibility because he loved that woman. So I
Right.
told the brother, don't feel ashamed because you did that. That's an honorable thing to do as a Black man. That's honorable. You doing something that a lot of us won't do, and a lot of us are afraid to do. Afraid to take care of our own children, let alone someone else's. So, I told him that's honorable, and he felt good about that. So, I think when we let our children understand, it gives them a sense of pride from young. Like, yo, I don't have to feel this way about myself because me who I am. And I learned who I am from this person, and I learned who I am from that person. It's a reference besides what you tell your children to be proud of. Because I noticed with having children, I noticed that a lot of times don't listen to what you say or believe what you say until they see an outside reference. You know, you could tell your child some shit their whole life, but they won't understand it until they go out in the world and experience it, and it's in their face. Now they like, oh shit, that's what mom was talking about. That's why mom always got on my back about me half-assing doing stuff, because now it's affecting me, as I'm grown. It affects you, and children don't understand that. They don't understand that. So I think history is that outside reference to when you telling your son or your daughter what you should be proud of. Be proud of your long black hair. You know, don't be ashamed of your big hips. Don't be ashamed of your thick body, black woman. Don't be ashamed because you curvy. Be ashamed because you a dark skinned man. Don't be ashamed because your hair curl up in knots when you don't brush it. Don't be ashamed of that.
Mm-hmm.
It gives our children that outside reference to be like, all right, dad was right. Because back in the day, such and such looked like this, and they had this. And perfect example
Mm-hmm.
with myself, me being a big dude when I was young, you know. So Biggie was my inspiration. He was like my role model because he was fat, but he was cool. All the girls liked Big, so that
Mm-hmm.
gave me confidence growing
Right,
up.
right, right.
That gave me confidence. You know what I'm saying? That made me look at other things in myself besides me looking at my weight, because I'm like, damn, Big got so much pretty women. It's like, do they even know if he's fat? Used to think as a kid, like, yo, this dude is fat. Like, they don't see that fat stomach. This dude exudes so much of other things that don't matter. Learn that. And he helped me learn that. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Besides
Right.
what my pops was telling me, because my pops is a big guy. I had a problem with women. So he always encouraged me to be confident. But when you go to school and you getting teased, it's like, fuck what dad talking about. You know what I'm saying? But that
Right.
outside reference give you that, oh, I see what dad was talking about now. I think history do for our children. So that's why it's very, very important. That's very important.
That's
It
facts,
is.
man. But another thing, DS1, is like when you talk about, history for as black people, is like, when you try to have a conversation with people, they run away from it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just for example, you see this cap I went, right? So I wear it to work sometimes, and dudes be like, man, why you got that cap on? Duh, 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 duh. You an African man, this and that. I'm like, dude, you don't even know the meaning of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, people
Right.
so dumbed down, man. They so dumbed down, they just don't identify themselves as an African no more. Except the only time they identify themselves as an African is when they circle that little circle with that check on their
Right.
application. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's the only time, man. Other than that, we don't identify as like African people. I guess we just so torn apart from it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we rather be something else than be black. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is, like, a lot of people want to be black. Like other races, they want to be black. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
And
they
it's like
and
that's the last thing we want to be.
yeah, right, yeah, right. So it's like, damn. I mean, it's just like I said earlier, man. It's just rough, man. It's gonna take a while for people to change, man. It's gonna take a good probably. They said it's like what 400 years in slavery. Might take 400 years just to get out that state of mind. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
and that's a long time. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like I said, you got to start with the generation that's coming up under us. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Got to start with them, so they won't walk into the same path that we walking in, and our fathers walked in. You see what I'm saying? Because
Exactly.
all we doing right now is just breeding rappers, basketball players, football players, and that's it. I mean, everybody know we can do that. We good at all that stuff. It's time to be good at something else. You see what I'm saying?
That's
Shoot.
big, bro. That's a
Straight
fact.
up. We can jump. We fast. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want our ability. You know what I'm saying? It's time to do something else. You know?
What's up, Rob?
Yeah, I wanted to build on what that brother was just saying. You know what I'm saying? And build on something else. Look, bro, this is what I be telling the shouties. If they can afford to pay LeBron James like $125 million, this is just for like an example. I don't know what that brother getting paid. You know what I mean? I just know that he, checking the bag, right? But anyway, if they can afford to pay this man $125 million, then what are they making? You see what I mean? What are they making if they can afford to pay him $125 million? That means that they got to be making at least $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? If they can afford to pay that man that much, you know what I'm saying? So I tell the shawties, hey man, you need to learn how to become a food vendor inside of the stadium. You need to own the stadium. You need to own the parking. You need to own, man. Let's own the hotel that the players gonna stay in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll be one of your homies from the hood or something, and y'all can invest in a hotel or something. I mean, Patrick Beverly, right from the west side, like not too far from like he literally grew up down the block from one of the shouties that used to hoop for me and shit. You know what I mean? For real, Joe. So like it's real that one of they homies, you know what I'm saying, could damn near make it to the league and they can invest in a hotel chain. You know what I'm saying? But I teach the shorty in entrepreneurship. I had four shorties that went for automotive. They about to come out of school. You know what I'm saying? They're about to start their own shop. All of this is practical shit. We got to just stop dreaming. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, uh, our desires, they got to be in line with our goals. You know what I mean? And so I'll give you an example, right? If you really want to save up and buy a house, you probably can't go and buy the brand new Jordans that's about to come out, because that money need to go towards your crib. You feel me? Like, man, our priorities gotta be in order, man. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's very simple. Uh uh if we got more home ownership or more real estate ownership, then that means we own the community. We own the community. They gotta listen to us. You know what I'm saying? If we got business owner density, you know what I'm saying? In order for those businesses to survive, we gotta be prejudiced with our money. You know what I mean? We gotta be prejudiced with our money. And so the people that live in those communities support the businesses that are run by us and make sure that they are lucrative. You know what I mean? And once we do those two things, very simply, our reality will change tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's all we got to do. I'll wait for it to swing back around, but I got I got an example of what I'll be showing the shorties. I'm gonna share my screen in a second. I just got to get it together real quick.
Hey, brother Rob, let me touch on that, man. I like that. You said prejudice with, you know what I'm saying, with our money. That's yeah. We definitely need to do that, man. Definitely. Man, I like that.
Yeah.
I
Man,
like that.
I had a financial plan that I shared on the Six Dynasty media platform. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Six Dynasty, man. Um, it's called the 70-30 rule, brother. And I mean, man, DS, you know what I'm saying? I email it to you, brother. You know what I'm saying? You take a look at it, man. We can just build on the topic. People can add on to the plan. whatever we gotta do. But it's a very simple, very practical plan, brother. Super practical.
Definitely. Let's do that, bro. Let's do that. We could do a whole show about that.
Man, I would love to do it, brother. I would love to do it. And I email it to you tonight when we get off.
Definitely. I definitely looked at that, and we could definitely put together a show dealing with that because, us as brothers, we definitely have to start working on building each other up, man. For real, man. We gotta stop. We gotta stop thinking that, you know, if you don't have it, you don't have it type of shit. We gotta stop, you know, dealing with each other from that posture. We gotta start being as resourceful as we can and stop holding our resources too. Because a lot of times brothers be having good connects to things, man. Next brother. Sometimes brothers be holding on to just good information that could take a brother to the next level. It ain't always he gotta give him something, materially. It could be just some good information that a brother could take and be like, oh, now I'm gonna go do this. Next thing you know, this brother business done took off over something you done told him. So we gotta stop withholding things from each other. We gotta start sharing things with each other, brothers that's like mine, and start building on those things, man. Like you said, brother Rob, just start doing it. Start doing it. But we gotta stop withholding shit from ourselves too, man.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. Look, I'm about to share my screen real quick. This is an example of what I be sharing with the shorties real quick, bro. A little PowerPoint that I put together about the Great Pyramid of Giza. And man, the little girl, man, she made me cry, bro. You know what I'm saying? She made me cry on real shit, Joe. Cause when I got to the end and and showed her who built it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? She was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And start crying, made me cry. You can see it. You can
I
Yeah,
see
I
see
it.
your
see.
avatar, bro.
Oh, all right. I thought I was
I can
sharing the
see it
whole
now.
screen. All right, all right. And so starting from here, you know what I'm saying? Great Pyramid of Giza, right? You know what I'm saying? Got the little table of contents, you know. And I break it down, you know what I'm saying? It's located in Africa. You know what I'm saying? You see it located in northeastern Africa. It's not in the Middle East. And then I explain the Middle East is really a myth, because if it's a Middle East, where's the Middle West? Where's the Middle South? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
just break it all the way down for the shouties. You know what I'm saying? I explained to them in the fourth dynasty, it was no writing. You know, and that middle picture is what it is a depiction of what it would look like. You know what I'm saying? I show them who actually is the person that was the architect, and I explained to them we was using high math. I'm a skip through a bunch of this. This is just information, you know what I'm saying, about the pyramid. And I mean, the shorties, they eat the shit up. It's a line of true north. It's the only building that's like that on Earth that's mathematically that precise. You know, it's located in the center of the Earth. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And they use, you know, the fields. They clear 6 football fields. You know what I'm saying? I show where they got the granite from. They go to people you can see. Each block could fit it's about the size of an explorer. You know what I'm saying? Each block. You know what I'm saying? They go into it. I show the chambers, all of that. But this the part at the end. Of course I break down the celestial alignment. I'm skipping around. Um, but I use the Lord's Prayer, Our Father, which art in heaven, thy be thy name, thy kingdom come on earth. And you can see it as it is in heaven. And you can see it right there. You know what I'm saying? Lined up to Orion's belt, lined up with the planets. You see what I'm saying? I explained it to him in great detail, and the shorties eat this shit up. But this the part where, and then I break down the math too. I don't want to skip over that, but I break down the math, how they built math into it. You know what I'm saying? All of that. You see? And then I show them this is how the Rhine papyrus. You know what I'm saying? They got this over there in the Louvre museum over there in France. You know, I explained it to him, and it's in a PowerPoint. You know what I'm saying? But I explained it to him, show him how our ancestors built this shit. Let me see if I can animate it so I can show you, G. Let me see.
No aliens needed.
Yeah, yeah. You see? And this is how our ancestors did it, right? This is exactly how they built the Great Pyramid of Giza. And this is why it's so precise right here. You know? That's why. Right there. That's why it's so precise. And then the next picture, right, clearly demonstrates it. You see?
Wow.
You see?
Wow.
Right. And then I say, who built it? If it wasn't the aliens, right? Who built it? Your ancestors. There they go. There they go. It's not a secret. It was found right there, right around where they was building it at. These drawings are inside of the little huts that they lived in, you know, the 2 or 3 months of the year that they came, and you can see they got the jibs, they got the squares, you know, and they using their precision tools. You know what I'm saying? No aliens or none of that shit. You see? So my the point of me showing this is like, people be like, show me the evidence. You know what I'm saying? Here go the evidence. Yeah, brother Rob, I actually do this shit for real. You know what I'm saying? I do this shit for real, bro. And I just want people to know out there in the chat rooms and all of that I be in. I'm a real deal worker, fam. Not like, I listen back on the shows that I can't participate in, like when you was talking about images and stuff, right? I got
Mhm.
images all over the school, you know what I'm saying, of our people and their stories. You know what I'm saying? Harry T. Moore. You know what I'm saying? The people don't even know the story of Harry T. Moore. You know what I mean? Saddest shit in the world. Martin Delaney. You know what I'm saying? A real true deal gangster. You know what I'm saying? People need to know the story of Martin Delaney. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, he one of my heroes in history. So I fall back, but yeah, I mean that's just an example of what I be showing the story. I got a gazillion of PowerPoints on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Different topics. You know what I mean?
That's big, bro. For real. That's big, man. Salute to you for doing that, man. Good looking on that too.
Yeah, man. Man, it's all love. It's just it's a lot of hours and time and research that go into it, right? But man, I feel like that's a small sacrifice that I can make, you know what I'm saying, to have an impact on the shorty, you know what I'm saying? Other high schools got 4 years. I be having like 10, 20 months to work with shorties, get their reading scores up to, a decent level to where they can fill out an application. You know what I'm saying? This practical shit I gotta deal with. I can't be thinking about pie in the sky. So when I be listening to niggas talk, debating shit, you know what I'm saying? Who wrote the model netter? Is it real? I mean, it's entertaining to listen to, but I really don't give a fuck, fam. I gotta find a place for Shorty to sleep tonight. Fuck you, mean, G. I mean, it'd be funny to me, you know what I'm saying? But I'll fall back, Joe. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Black, what up, bro?
What up, fam? Hey, I got a question for Brother Rob. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, brother.
Yes, sir. Are you familiar with Ashwa Quasi?
Oh yes, sir. I'm stacking right now. I'm trying to go on the Kim and new tour with that man next summer.
Okay, yeah, okay, 100, 100. Yeah, I think a
Yes.
lot of people, if they don't know, people in the chat, if you don't know, you need to check that man out. You know, you can really learn a lot from him about, ancient Kemet, Egypt, things like that. So definitely you check that out if you don't know about him.
Yeah,
Definitely.
there's another brother, John G. Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Man, great information. And then Dr. Walter Williams, you know what I'm saying? I just got the
Yeah, yeah.
benefit. I got the benefit of him being right here in Chicago. I can drive over to his crib. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
So
tight.
I
That's
mean,
tight, man. That's
man,
tight.
that's just the benefit.
Oh, that's tight. I like that.
That's facts.
Definitely.
That's
Yeah, this one I gotta tell you something. It was you saw one of them shoes and them ugly flip flops you just saw on the TV.
nah.
It was one of those shoes that one of basketball players had made about it. You want me to let you know how much it cost? It
How much?
it was like $200 for some flip flops and $400 for some shoes. I'm like, Lord, I'm not gonna buy this stuff. I suggest y'all investing into something instead of spending all that money on them shoes. You know what? I'm not gonna spend my shoes on them Jones. I already know I'm not gonna spend 400 some shoes for what? That's a waste of a lot of money. And $220 for a pair of flip flops. That's like waste a lot of money. It's like a Gucci thing. But I be seeing Gucci's and all that kind of stuff.
I agree with you, bro.
Huh?
I said I agree with you. People shouldn't be wasting their money on flip flops and all that. That's
No, them
just
flip flops
frivolous.
cost like 200 some dollars. It was some new ones, but I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's crazy. You know, people should put their money into something else that's more important.
I want to touch on that a little bit. As far as stuff like that, material stuff like that, they make it because they know we gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? So long as they make it, we gonna buy it. They making money, and they taking that money, the money they get from us, they taking it and giving, supporting their family and stuff like that. So stupid shit like that, we can't support that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. That's stuff like that definitely has to stop. You know, you said all we doing is enriching in them. You know, we need to start supporting us again. So find our creativity attractive again. We don't even find the things that we create don't attract us. Pressure creates attractive us. To start, things that we create attractive more.
That's true. That's true. Because that Fendi and that Louis and that Gucci and that Prada stuff, man, is all European made. You see what I'm saying? If something comes from Africa or any part of Africa, we won't support it, but we'll support them Europeans. You know what I'm saying? Real quick. You know what I'm saying? Even if the shoes or flip flops will be $500 to $1,000, you know what I'm saying? We still go out there and buy it just because we want to stunt on the next man. And that's another thing we got to stop doing. We got to stop buying stuff just to stunt on the next female or stunt on the next man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that stuff is a bunch of bullshit, man. Straight up.
Yeah, yeah. And this JT. This go more on the brother's point. What we have to do, if we want to buy things, we got to investigate what kind of company they is. Is the money recycled back in our community? Had they do any community work where we live at? And a lot of I'm not saying the brothers on the panel, but I find out throughout the years, a lot of us we don't do no investigation. We don't show our kids like how to save money, and I think that's another conversation that we better have. That's what like I tell you so. I say, is that part of Jordans? I say, yo, when Jordans made up? Do you investigate the company? You got Google. Do you Google it? Is it who made that? Do you see any money saved by the community? So, and even the parents, and it goes to me too. We got to do a better job. We have to do a better job. If these companies is not reflected our community, we should not buy from them. Period.
That's
Thank
facts. That's facts, man. And I just want to say one more thing. Yeah, I mean, y'all can see the picture, right? Y'all can see my picture, right? And you see the hat that I got on?
Facts.
Yeah, so that's this lady. She makes hats. It's called. You want to go to her website? It's called stopstuff.com. So y'all go on there and check that out. Get some hats and everything. You know what I'm saying? So
You said stop what, bro?
Stopstuff.com. So if you want to support, yeah. So if you want to support Black people, you just go on that website. You know what I'm saying? And check out the little hat she got. So she from California. So we just got to support each other all over the state. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to start, this is how we start, by supporting each other. You see what I'm saying? So if y'all want to go get hats or, things like that, go to stopstuff.com. And my nephew got some gear coming out too. And when he get that up and jumping, I'll let y'all know. So he got his own clothing line popping too. So trying to work and get his thing jumping off. So, So yeah, that's how we're gonna do it.
All right, that's peace right there. That's peace. We
Yes,
need
sir.
a lot more, and we lot more, and then and also the Earth Brothers too. If you running if you down in any committee, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to get down with this committee. What I'm live out in Virginia, because a lot of brothers has been stopping early in our neighborhoods, in our communities. So I take upon myself trying to join this committee, trying to make change, so the buses could stay longer in our community, so our brothers and sisters could get home. Because sometimes, where I live, but there's certain parts that's very deserted. It's certain parts that's nice, but it's very deserted. It's very dark, and there are some brothers and sisters that sometimes they don't even have cars. Some of the buses be start running like 9 or 10 o'clock. Sometimes they have to stay at the job to like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to catch the bus, and then they're not getting that much sleep, and then the cycle starts again. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make change within that and build on that. So I urge brothers and I urge some sisters, if there's a committee that you want, that you could join, that you could bring more things in our community, so be it. Just do it. Because I'm trying to do my part. I'm trying to do my part little as I can. So this is my part that I'm trying to do. And every little help, everything stacks. We gotta learn to support each other too. Learn to support. The brother brought out a great plan. Support that. You don't have to be in the city or state. Support that. The brother talking about that your sister don't have support that, his nephew. Support that. What I'm doing, support that. Come on, we gotta support each other. Stop the hate. Because while we doing that, our kids seeing that. And it's not gonna be a good reflection of us as brothers. So I commend your brothers for doing this. An excellent building night and everything. And I appreciate each and every one of your brothers. Trust me. I really, really do. And it lets me know when I'm doing is right. and we on the same alignment, and that's a greater purpose that we gotta be. We gotta be in a same alignment, no matter what status that we in. Back into DS, my brother.
And ADS one more thing, brother. If you got anybody that's starting
Go
their
ahead,
own
bro.
clothing line, you know what I'm saying, in your state, you know what I'm saying, just shoot the website in the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? I support them. You know what I'm saying? If you got anybody that's in the
Oh,
clothing, yeah. So if you got somebody that's out there that's making clothes, hats, anything, you know what I'm saying, just throw it in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Or shoot it on my Facebook or something like that. And I support them too. So that's how we need to do it. You know what I'm saying? Stop giving our money to them Europeans, man, because that's all we do. Especially at tax time. You get that money at tax time, and you need to hold that money. Stop going to the car
Mm-hmm.
dealerships and to these goddamn malls. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
That's real,
hey,
bro.
real quick, JT,
Yes, yes, sir.
super quick question, brother. How many workers would you say need that bus?
Brother, I could say hundreds. Because see, understand this: Virginia is not a state; it's a commonwealth. So they set in their own ways when it comes to budgeting. You gotta understand they still down with that Dixieland mindset. So they're gonna put them numbers out and make sure. Oh yeah, there's and it's gotta be our brothers who work in the bus committee. They gotta be want to do it. And then what I find out, I'm gonna let you know more, DS, later on. There's a lot of brothers and sisters who is not willing to work in our community. And me doing security, I know all that. I sometimes I got the inside look. So I gotta have to convince them, look, our brothers and sisters need buses. They need to, and I just don't want to do it. But a lot of them, sad thing about it, they got this slave mentality. They want to have the buses in the white community, but when it comes to ours, we need a lot of workers. We really do. We really do. They put in those just a few hundred, but it's a lot more because now there's a lot of ones who work for over 30 years. They retiring. So when they retiring, they don't want to. Excuse me. They don't want to replace that. But then you got other brothers and sisters. They should step up. They just do their hours and that's it. So we need a lot.
Yeah, the purpose for the question was if it's a need, right? So this is how I look at creating opportunity. You got to look at need, and then you got to look at the opportunity to create the solution. Will it make sense? And so if hundreds of people need rides after the buses stop running, um, I was just thinking like maybe you could organize a couple of brothers and then y'all start a shuttle service, and the shuttle service will be paid for, and y'all will be able to make a little profit, if y'all can just organize the people that work late night, saying like whatever they pay on the bus, like what, $2 both ways or whatever. So that's $4 that they have to spend on the bus per week, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, $4 a day, so that's $20 a week. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, they invest in probably about $80 a month in the bus service. You know, you charge them
Yeah.
$60 times 200 people. You do the math. You know what I'm saying? That's how
Hmm.
many shuttles that y'all can run. Y'all
Oh yeah.
run it at certain times, have certain drop off points, and just make it economical to where you can turn a profit. You got to be able to pay the drivers. You feel me? And so,
Yeah, yeah, that's in the making, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Besides
okay.
on the committee, yeah, I'm talking to brothers because I'm not driving yet. So that's in the making. I already talked to some brothers about it and everything, and then so that's an excellent reminder. I'm on point on that, definitely. If the brothers and sisters is not willing, I'm talking about the one working the bus company, is not willing. Let's have some carpools. What's going on?
No. I mean, bus companies shouldn't get all the money. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Oh no, definitely right.
I'd rather you make the money than we begging the company to make the money. Shit, you know what
Oh,
I
question.
mean?
No question. No question. No question. I'm just saying. For that because there's a lot of brothers. There's some brothers and sisters that I know ever since I moved to Virginia that also they could do carpools too. But like I said, I totally agree with you. I definitely on alignment with that. I'm working on that. Really, yeah. I definitely talked to some brothers that yeah, they say yeah, we with that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely.
my guy Cal, man, he got a dealer's license. And so I know he just got a really good deal for a cat that just started a party bus company here in Chicago. And so I mean, that's why it popped in my mind. Oh man, JT could probably use some shuttle buses. You feel me?
Definitely.
So yeah, man, just I get your math, and then if you ever need something like that, then boom. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's how it'll work. You know what I'm saying? If we able to employ our own people and make the money where they don't
Yeah.
feel like it, shit, you know what I'm saying? Eventually we'll be able to compete with them. We can't
Yeah.
compete with them until we organize and be
Yeah.
prejudiced with our money. It's that
Uh-huh.
simple. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with that. My thing is, long as the money recycle back in our community, long as we get the best product, the best quality, that's my thing. You know, no question about
I
it.
think you and the brother Rob, y'all should link up, exchange emails, and y'all should really build on this because what brother Rob is talking about, man. What he telling you, JT, is that Void as an independent company, and you won't, and based on coming up with a specific plan, bro, you could get the city to fund your idea, and
Mhm.
that'll save and in a lot of ways it'll work out good for you and for the city because if the city could just allocate funds for you or whatever, that'll save them a lot of money than running buses.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If they could pay, if they could give you and you could run these 10 vans, a certain amount of days for a certain amount of times a week, and you could pay people and keep everybody employed, but it's your company, that's black
Mhm.
power, bro. So y'all definitely,
Definitely.
y'all need to exchange emails or something, bro, and really build on that because it sounds like the brother want to help you too, bro.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with that.
Yeah, no doubt. It's just a little tagline I got. We got to think bigger than our circumstances to overcome them. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I mean, that's just the bottom line. If we ain't thinking like we got to control, like people want to sell hats and T-shirts. Hell, in Mississippi in the beginning of August, that shit looked like snow out there. That's how much cotton is out there. The black people that live down there, you know what I'm saying, not thinking bigger than their circumstances. All you have to really do is go ahead and make the T-shirts in Mississippi instead of shipping the cotton to wherever they weave it out to T-shirts.
Mhm.
Like, man,
Yeah.
just go ahead and make the T-shirts right there in Mississippi, and then you ship the T-shirts to wherever they gonna put the designs on to the independent. I mean, I just feel like we sitting on the answer. We just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
sitting on it, man. We sitting on it. Think about it, bro. We got communication. You know what I'm saying? We can speak to anybody, anywhere, at any time. We got everything we need except each other. You see what
Mhm.
I mean, fam? We got
Mhm.
everything we need except each other. That's all we ain't got, fam. That's all we ain't got.
Yeah, that's true.
That's big.
True.
So simple.
Mhm.
For real, man.
We
But
sitting on the answer, fam. I believe that. I believe in us so hard, bro. Like, so when we falter, I be like, oh man, that's an exception to the rule. We gonna make it. I'm empowered by the stories of Medgar Evers, the stories of Martin. You know what I'm saying? They, man, bro, these three-piece suits, they hanging. If you look at all of the brothers that was getting hung, bro, you know what I'm saying? They had three-piece suits on. You know what I'm saying? They might not have $1 to their name. To throw piss out of, bro. But they walked around in that suit. That was pride, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
That was pride, a code of conduct, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
All you gotta do is look at them old pictures, bro, and you gonna see. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Them men didn't have nothing, bro,
They had
but they
nothing.
had pride. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah. Go more on your point, my brother. If you go back like even the 1920s, how where the depression was, man, we were so clean. Hat, handkerchief, hat, shoes, all matched with it, and it was happy. You know, we didn't have nothing, but I know, when you put that suit on, I don't know. I'm like, yo, you can't tell me nothing. I'm starting. And
Look,
it's a beautiful feeling. Oh my goodness. It's like,
look,
you can't.
look, look. That is a pivotal point in history. The Great Depression. Black
Yeah,
folks knew how to make it on nothing already.
yeah.
So we wasn't
Exactly.
hurting. You see what I'm
Nah.
saying? We taught
Hmm.
we taught we taught white folks how to survive. If it wasn't for George Washington Carver teaching white folks how to plant the fields that they didn't want us to come back to because they knew we was gonna outwork them, right? To rotate them crops, tornadoes would still be roaming the United States right now. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
And different things in agriculture. And when they without us, we was flourishing during the Great Depression. You know what I'm saying? That was 10 years removed from the red summer of 1919. We was flourishing. Black, we got to study history. We'll be our guide, fam. We was winning, fam. We had our own schools, banks, churches. We wasn't riding in white folks' taxis. You think they was stopping for us? Own taxis. That black folks had their own. You think we could stop at a fucking Hyatt in the 1930s, nigga? Hell no. The houses up and down. To study history. It was all kind of independent as black hotels that was on all throughout this country because that was the only way you could travel. Man, man, bro. I mean, the information is out there, man. It ain't nothing special about me, brother. I just do a lot of research. Ain't nothing special about what I do. And I do it in a practical way. Understand our story so I can understand what we need to do next. And it's the same thing. Work together and create our own jobs. Shut up, man. I talk too
Tulsa,
Nah,
Oklahoma.
you good. You good, fam. You good, man. We building. That's what we need. Consistent building, man. That's what we need. We don't have enough. It's good, man. It's good.
Hey, DS1.
what's up, bro?
We need to take it back to Tulsa, Oklahoma, man.
Yeah, the Black Wall Street.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a big thing, and a little bit about Oklahoma, I have family out in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is just a place, and I think that us as black people, we need to start building on that type of land. You know, those are there's a lot of land out there that haven't really been touched in a long time. So I think for us to build on. And I think, it's showing proof that it was good places because, Black Wall Street was started there, and there's a lot of people in Oklahoma City, you know. But I'm getting ready to close out, fellas. So thing y'all want to touch on? Any shout outs y'all want to do or anything?
Well, yeah, just the final statement, man. Hey, look, I love black people, brother. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in us. All we really got to do is just organize, talk about real topics like how we talking about tonight. You know what I'm saying? When I see that you on, brother, man, if I can't make it, I'm at least gonna listen back. You know what I'm saying? Cause I fucks with you, DS1. What you talk about, you know what I'm saying, is needed in the community. So you know, to all the brothers, man, I say this. You know what I'm saying? Self-assertive manhood. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Fuck that mask, man. We gotta be who we are, man, because they gonna be who they are. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be who we are. And that's powerful, fam. You know what I'm saying? We come from a history of people that got the richest history in the world. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody else got history without us. You know what I'm saying? We the source, brother. I love black people. Peace and black power to the family. And till next time, man.
Peace, brother.
Facts. Got anything you want to touch on, bro?
Just want to say, man, just stay humble, man. Stay strong, stay humble. Keep your head up. We down, but we not out. You know what I'm saying? So just got to keep going. Got to keep fighting. Can't stop.
No doubt,
That's
no
it.
doubt. JT, got anything, bro? Want to close out?
Well, I'm just make it quick. Yo, subscribe and like to my channel, JT Blackness. I got good content on it. And Rob, you could drop the email and we'll definitely link up and everything. And all I'm just saying, yo, let's build, let's keep on. That's all I'm saying. Let's encourage each other. Any fuckery, anything going, yo, let's put that on check. That's it. Peace to the brothers out here, to the fam.
No doubt, no doubt. So my closing statements is this, you know, black man, 2017. Let's definitely work on our image, family. Image, man. And let's start with working on our image and how we look at ourselves as black men and how we deal with each other as black men. Let's start there first. Once our women see that we could get along with each other, it'll be much easier for them to deal with us. So let's work on our image, brothers. Let's cut the foolery out. We don't have time for that anymore. Let's try our best to start networking with brothers. Got some networking done. You know, the brother JT got up here and said what he was a part of. The brother Rob reached he extended his hand to his brother. And now he can possibly be a resource to his brother. Brother needs. That's brotherhood. So something could be built in his brother's community. That would be something on brother Rob's resume. He helped something be built in his brother's neighborhood. That's black power, man. Have to start being black men in 2017. So that's all I want to say. I also want to say, family, I need y'all. Y'all could all email me. It's one@gmail.com. I put it in a box. DSAlliance1@gmail.com. If y'all have any businesses that y'all want to promote, if y'all know anybody, businesses, and y'all want to promote it for them, or y'all want them to come on my platform and promote it, I'm gonna start doing live streams, and I'm gonna let business owners come and promote their businesses, family. I did, that me and my wife just came up with, actually. And we want to start promoting Black businesses. So family, email me, dsalliance1@gmail.com, dsalliance1@gmail.com. I'm going to leave it in the box. If y'all have y'all know of any Black businesses that y'all, think is helpful for the community, and y'all want to promote it, or y'all want me to promote it, or y'all want to just come on a platform, promote it, family. So I'm working on putting those shows together for y'all. So y'all do that for me, family. Email me, dsalliance1@gmail.com. Just make sure the business is legit, and we could go from there. So, boss, y'all just tuned in to Sheep Stay Sleep. Tuning in, family. Y'all have a great rest of the weekend, and peace out.